There's a few people I'd like to recognize, and before I do that, Dr. Crane definitely wanted to send his regrets that he can't be here today. He had to be at the Capitol for legislative matters. I assure you he'd much rather be here today than doing that, but he sends his regrets for that. But there are a few people that I'd like to recognize before we begin. Obviously, we have a great turnout. Today in the audience is Doc Goodwin, one of our Hall of Famers, famous trainer here at Southeastern. Miss Yolanda Moore, our new head women's basketball coach, and her assistant, LaVar Willis. Also, our Senior Associate AD, Mr. Andrew Bishak, is in attendance. Ms. Stacy Neal, President of our Alumni Association. Mr. Sam Damiano, Vice President of Finance. Ms. Wendy Lauderdale, Vice President of Advancement. Dr. Joe Morse, Faculty Athletic Representative. Mr. Andre Kudrain and his wife, Ms. Kelly. Thank y'all for coming today. Only two-time All-American, two-sport All-American, Mr. Billy Ladner is hiding back here somewhere. I saw Mr. Billy when I walked in. Dr. Joe Miller, retired Vice President. I think he's retired. He's still working, but he's still here. Dr. Joe Miller. Mr. Gary Sandiford, former President of our Alumni Association. Head football coach Ron Roberts is in attendance today. Mr. Larry Hummel, Alumni Athletic Coordinator. Mr. Tim Baldwin, one of our assistant ADs, our head golf coach as well. I want to thank all of y'all for attending and everybody for coming out today. I tell you, this crowd is overwhelming. This is a very exciting time in Lion Nation, no question. You know, and I know, and that's what I was telling Coach Moore just now, Sunday I'm going to sleep very good. We're going to get our hiring process is behind us, Super Lion Saturday behind us, and Sunday morning I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. But this has been a great process, an overwhelming process. And when you look at the number of candidates we had, we almost 60 candidates for the head coaching position here. You see why. I mean, this is a special job, it's a special opportunity, it's a special place. The quality of candidates was overwhelming. I mean, when I sat back and looked at them, I just kind of, it takes your breath away a little bit to see the quality of people that applied for this job because it's such a special place, because it's such a great job. You know, and through this process, we want to identify somebody that we felt could come in and be the right person for this, and we had a great process. I want to thank the players. Our current basketball team who's here today. I want to thank you guys. Met with all the candidates. It means a lot to us, and I appreciate y'all doing that and your input in this process as well. And I want to thank the search committee. Search committee did a great job, extremely thorough. I want to especially thank Mr. Andrew Bishak, who headed up that committee. Andrew, thank you very much. Did a super job, and really appreciate the job you did. You know, I thought it was important for us to identify a person. Number one, when you hire a new coach, to me, you got to remember they deal with student athletes. They deal with young men and young women. And the first thing I look for is that person a good role model. If the answer is yes, then we go on to the next question. If the answer is no, then you go on to the next candidate. With Jay Ladner, without question, the answer is yes. You know, Jay does a tremendous job, and I was fortunate, got to see firsthand job that he did with that. You know, we want to identify somebody that, and you hear me talk about the 3 C's, the classroom, the community, and competition. That could be excellent in all 3 of those. With Jay Ladner, the question is without question, yes. I was very fortunate, like I said, I got to see Jay in his first head coaching job at St. Stanislaus High School, my alma mater, throw a little plug in there for the Rocket Charge. But I got to see firsthand the job that Jay did and the relationships he built and the care he has for student athletes at St. Stanislaus, at Oak Grove, and at Jones Junior College, where he just won a national championship. I got to see not just on the court, that's easy, but the relationships he builds, how sincere he is for the well-being of his student athletes while they're under his care and when they leave his care. And during the committee, when we were meeting with Jay, you could see the passion come out. And when you ask him questions, the passion that came out in him, that's something you can't pretend. That's not something you can hide. It's there and it's in him. I couldn't be more excited. You know, obviously, you know, this hiring is a very big and important part of this. And pending board approval, our new head basketball coach that I couldn't be more excited about. Lion Nation, we definitely hit a grand slam. Jay Ladner. Jay, welcome aboard.
To be honest with you, I certainly wasn't prepared for this type of reception and the overwhelming number of people here and friends of mine that I've known for a long time and certainly new friends that we're going to make beginning today. And to say I'm excited is an understatement. And I feel so honored to be here. I'm very thankful certainly to Dr. Crane and Coach Ortiz and Coach Bishak and the search committee for allowing me the honor and the opportunity to be here today. And it's with great excitement that we're ready to get started in making Southeastern University Lion basketball a national contender. One of the things that I had an opportunity, and some of you may be taken aback by this, about what I'm about to say, is our goal, and we shared this with the returning players yesterday, our goal at Southeastern is to win the National Division I Men's Basketball Championship. If we're not in it to win it, then why are we in it? It's not to have a winning season. It's not to win the Southland Conference. It's to win the national championship. And I understand that the great challenges and so forth, and maybe that's never been done. And I'll just go back to maybe that's the way I was trained. I grew up the son of a high school basketball coach who taught me to think big, and I've relied on that type of thinking throughout my professional career and really in life in general. But when I went to St. Stanislaus, I'd never had a coaching job before. I had played basketball, certainly growing up the son of a coach, and I'd had the opportunity to play at University of Southern Mississippi through 1984 through 1988. We were fortunate to play on two NIT teams, and then in 1987 we won the National Invitation Tournament Championship, and that had never been done for a team in the state of Mississippi. I was fortunate to be offered the job at St. Stanislaus. I had never coached before, as Stephen Cuevas is a good friend of mine from back during those times. Stephen may remember the program had kind of fallen on hard times, and it was kind of in such hard times they hired me because I had never blown a whistle before, didn't really know what I was doing, and had to learn on the run. But certainly thought big, and I told Brother Paul Montero, who was the president of St. Stanislaus at the time, that, Brother Paul, we're going to win the state championship. And he kind of put his arm around me. Now, Jay, we just want to be competitive and, those type of things. Well, I would never subscribe to that type of thinking, and fortunately, eventually, we did win it. I had a great opportunity to go back to my home school. I'm from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, originally went to Oak Grove High School. Oak Grove's one of the premier high schools in the state of Mississippi. I had an opportunity to go back there after 20 years at St. Stanislaus, and certainly I've never been one to bounce around as much as I've been the last 3 years. And one of the reporters from the Gulf Coast this morning said, Coach, 3 years ago you were at St. Stanislaus, and now you had an opportunity to coach at Southeastern. And so I had an opportunity there. We had a very good year there at Oak Grove, and I was offered the Jones Junior College job. Jones competes in the Mississippi Junior College Association League, not even won the regional championship, had never been to the national championship, and certainly never won the regional championship. And in the National Junior College Association, it works very similar to the NCAA. And so I was talking to the president then. I said, our goal is to win the National Junior College Division I championship. He put his arm around me and said, now, Jay, we've got some restrictions here in Mississippi, and, we can only have 3 out-of-state players and all the other teams in the country. We want to be competitive and put a good product on the floor. We didn't subscribe to that type of thinking. And in 2 years, we were fortunate to have an outstanding group of young men, and we just recently won the national championship, which I think really has allowed me to be in front of you today, and I'm very thankful. There are so many people, this is not about me, there's so many people that have had such a role in me being here today. And the fact that I've been here, I could go back to the many years, to the ladies that worked in our concession stand and supported our program, to all the great assistant coaches I've had an opportunity to work with, to obviously the players being the most important part. So I feel very honored to be here in front of you today. I literally think that we are sitting on a green and gold mine here at Southeastern, and a chance to really have something special. We're going to have something special. I'll ask you to do one thing right now. I'll ask you to come to one basketball game next year. I'm just going to ask you to do that. It'll be on me if you never decide to return. But I hope that you'll see a good enough product out there that you're going to want to come back, and we can make playing in the University Center a very tough place for opponents. We're excited about the possibility. I had an opportunity to visit with our young men yesterday just for a short while. Certainly impressed with those young men, and you'll be impressed with the young men that we're going to have coming in as well. I would like to introduce a couple of special people to me and some other folks here in the community. This is the love of my life. This is Jennifer. And Jennifer, if you'll stand up. She's got her green and yellow on, and one of my big supporters. This is my son, Luke. Luke, if you'll stand up. He was excited about getting out of school today at St. Stanislaus. He's got his uniform on. and our daughter, who is at law school at the University of Alabama, she could not, although it about killed her, I think, she couldn't be here with us today. So certainly that's our family. My father, like I said, I grew up as a son of a coach, and he's not able to be with us today. He and my mother were both sick, but they're the biggest Lion fans in the country as of this afternoon. So I call him Uncle Billy. He's back there. He's one of the all-time greats here. And I heard of his exploits. He was only two-time All-American here at Southeastern. And as I was touring through the University Center the other day, he has 2 plaques up there in the Hall of Fame. So I appreciate, as I call Uncle Billy, he's actually my second cousin. But due to the age difference, Uncle Billy, we always refer to you as that. So anyway, I'm certainly honored to be here. So. With all that being said, we do have 2 of our staff members here as well. We haven't completed our basketball staff quite as of yet, but I have 2 of our assistant coaches here, and I'd like if they would step forward just so you can see them. First, Coach Errol Goff. Coach Goff is going to be very familiar to a lot of you. Coach, most recently, one of the most successful high school coaches in the state of Louisiana here at St. Thomas Aquinas, so really pleased to have Errol on board. Coach Kyle Roan. Coach Kyle's right there in his green tie as well. Kyle has many years' experience on the Division I staffs, and Kyle and I have been friends for a long time, an outstanding coach who brings a wealth of experience to our staff. So those are 2 of our assistant coaches. I'd also like to compliment Coach Moore. I was a big fan of Coach Moore when she was playing at Ole Miss. So certainly is exciting that she's here today. Coach, I appreciate you being here. Look forward to working with you very closely. And obviously Coach Roberts, I see Coach Roberts back there. I've been wanting to meet him since I've gotten here. I've heard nothing but great things. I followed the run last year, Coach, and as y'all were making your way toward the national championship, and I'm certain that's coming very soon too. What I liked about Coach Roberts is I saw him do this, what we like to do, think big, and I'm certain that they think big. I haven't had an opportunity to meet Coach yet, other than just a few minutes ago, but I guarantee you, Coach Roberts and his staff think big. We're going to think big too, and we want to continue the great momentum and energy and excitement that's happening at Southeastern right now. Coach Reiser with the baseball team, wiped out Tulane last night 5-1. I was certainly excited to see that. We want to be part of that in the men's basketball program. So anyway, really excited, like I said, to be here. Excited to get to work. We're ready to hit the ground running with these young men and get started and ready to go for next year, Coach. So